Hi Taurus, and welcome to your May 2020 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky here to talk to you about some of the energies coming in during your time of the year. Happy Taurus season. I hope that you're all doing well, and happy birthday to those of you who are aging up in May. I love your time of the year. I think that your time of the year is one of my favorite times of the year. I'm a Scorpio though, so that tends to be the case. Like oftentimes, a sun sign's favorite time of the year may fall during their opposite sign. So for you, Taurus, maybe one of your favorite times of the year is like around Halloween and into November. So yeah, you might be looking forward to that now, as I have been looking forward to your season for a while. But here we are having all of these like upending, unexpected events going on during May of 2020. And a lot of us are having certain plans and certain things that we had wanted to get done delayed. So are you dealing with delays, Taurus? I think that you have a few tough things that you're dealing with in May, and it doesn't have to be as hard as you might think. There might be some decisions that you feel like are really like make or break, or potentially creating some kind of, just really overwhelming and overbearing experience. And ultimately what I feel May represents for you is in ending those cycles. I think that you've been having to make tough decisions for a long time. And are you kind of second guessing that here in May? Or are you realizing maybe even that there's a double standard or something, or like the right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing, is what I'm hearing as well. So things are maybe a little bit out of balance and a little bit split. And I think we're all there to some degree, because what you go through here during your month, Taurus, will kind of be an undertone for everybody. And that's kind of how astrology works, during the season of a sign. So like Taurus season, you're going to kind of be the standard, and you're going to kind of be the canvas that everybody's working from. So you might also find that you're quite popular and quite appealing to other people right now. And you might even have a lot of people come back in and try to reach out and connect with you, okay? And I really feel that getting peaceful and tranquil within that space is going to be important. For me, like right now, I've got the window open. It's raining a little bit outside. There are birds that are really loving the rain. It's like a very gentle rain, and it's kind of like sunny at the same time. That's like one of the best things. So if you hear the birds or the rain, allow yourself to enter into that tranquil space, because that's all that I've been able to do during this time too. I don't have much Taurus. I have the midheaven in Taurus, but I don't have any other Taurus placements. But as a Scorpio and as someone on your axis, I can kind of understand how frustrating things can get when you get delayed, or when your, fixed path or fixed goals get, put on the back burner. But were they already there? I think that a month like May for Taurus is really going to illuminate how you were already putting things onto the back burner, or how you weren't letting yourself move on before. So something that I think really goes for Taurus, or like really leaves your experience, is going to be like scapegoating or blame or rigidity. Those things are going to kind of disappear here. So you might see that somebody who's been blaming you from the past, or somebody who's been giving you a hard time, they might just not really be around right now, or you might not really have a connection with them too much. And then it kind of loses itself, it loses its purpose. So no longer do you have this thing every day that's become like a big trial or a big problem. And I feel that for some of you, that you've just lost a lot of things that are actually problems, and this is a good thing, but it's kind of hard when you don't really have like a way to move forward after it. So it might feel a little bit empty, or it might feel a little bit void in a way. Again, to kind of get back to what I was talking about a second ago, like the right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing. Are you feeling like really split, or really disengaged, or disingenuous to your own heart? If you saw my May general video, so for all the signs, I talked a lot about healing the heart. And Taurus, the energy of Taurus is the neck. It is the throat chakra. And right beneath the throat chakra is the heart chakra. So they are connected. They are connecting chakras. And May, for a lot of people, is dealing with like the dissension into the heart chakra from the throat. And what that means in layman's terms is that the way that you've communicated, or the standards that you've set, or the kind of like rigid rules that you've communicated into your life, those things are going to be up for reevaluation, and they're going to have to become something that's more connected with what you actually want in life, and what your actual persona or nature is as a person. Because one thing that was sad to me that I noticed in Taurus, maybe even coming from a few years ago, was kind of getting out of their own nature, breaking with their own code, really imprinting themselves on like a standard of society and maybe losing the thread of who they actually are and what they actually want. In May of 2020, your season of 2020, to me, it deals with finding yourself again and reestablishing your own personal code. And I think that that's going to be beautiful. It can be really hard for some people, as you guys might see from your spread that we have laid out here. I'm using old fabrics, by the way. The fabric stores are shut down, so I'm making do with what I've got in the closet. So if they're a little bit wrinkly, I apologize. We're all getting by with what we have right now. What you have in your spread, Taurus, is basically a representation of what someone goes through when they realize who they were and who they've actually been for a long time, and that they've not really been working in congruency with that, or they've not been working with that thread. So you might have had all these resources or all these like threads. If you could imagine yourself sewing, and like, let's just get really philosophical and maybe even a little bit cliche here. Imagine yourself sewing your life, okay, with threads. You might not be using the thread that's available to you. You might really be trying to craft your own thread. You might really be buying a lot of thread for way too expensive and using that while you have something really perfectly good. And there comes the wind outside of my house. While you have something perfectly good available for you. And that is, I don't know, it's like blowing in like the wind. It's really clear. So you're not really going to be able to deny the wind this month, Taurus. There's going to be a direction, and there's going to be a really clear outline of what you've wanted for a long time and how you can achieve that. So use that thread, use that instead of like, going up against the wind or going up against something that's just really not rhythmic or really not harmonizing. I think that there are a lot of Taurus and weird stories, and May of 2020, reorienting yourself with your own personal energy line, that's going to be about setting that story straight and making it right for you. And we all kind of have that opportunity with where we're at in society right now. We all have the opportunity to reconnect and re-meet who we are and what we stand for and what we want to do in life. There's a lot of time back for that. And I won't beat around the bush for you guys, Taurus. There might be a betrayal this month. There might be somebody who is not what you want them to be, or is not following through on what they've promised. I do sense the energy of broken promises. I sense the energy of really strict expectations as well, and the thought that it can really carry us through. So by adhering to an expectation, or by adhering to something that we set out to do long ago that's not using the right thread anymore, that can really bring us a lot of happiness, or really bring us something really solid. And none of that's here this month is the thing. Like, none of that is there. Like, I'm not at the fabric store. I'm not spending a lot of money on my YouTube channel right now. None of that's there. I have to get by with what's here. I have to use the thread that I have, essentially. And that's really brought me a lot. I've saved more. I've connected better. And honestly, the spread is beautiful. I mean, the background's wonderful. And that's what I'm kind of understanding as also your counterpart, Taurus. So as the Scorpio on your axis, things are really easy for me, and really not as hard as I've led them out to be, or not as worrisome as I've led on. So I think that I want to introduce that to you, Taurus. Are things really as bad as they have to be? Because I know that you guys are kind of struggling. Okay, it's your time of the year. It's your birthday. You guys are meant to be out. You're meant to be socializing. You're meant to be connecting with others, buying nice things, having nice things out. You're meant for that right now, and that can't really happen. And what that just means at a spiritual level is none of it was right, or it wasn't made of the thread that was ever appropriate. And now we have to turn around a little bit, and we have to use what we have and use what we're good at. So learning what we're good at, and why that's so magical, Taurus, is because you're like really good at a lot of things. Like, I don't know if you know how much you're capable of providing to another person. I'm sure that some of you do, but I think that Taurus is one of the most capable signs. It's one of the most really abundant signs when it comes to giving nice things to other people, being like the homemaker, or being the support network, or being the foundation for somebody else. I don't necessarily think that you need that right now, but I think that you need to understand that other people might have not used that kindly, or other people, and it might not even be the people that you expect. Like, you might see that there's people in your life, or there have been people in your life recently that you thought were good, but were actually users a little bit, or actually like not really caring much about anything. And I think that it's really connected to using the thread that was never right in the first place, to kind of connect all of that together. Like, if you're not going to believe in what you have as a person, and you're not going to use that thread, you're going to try to find it from society, or you're going to try to find it from the store, or find it from, really something outside of you, you're opening yourself up for other people to use what's inherently already yours. It's an interesting thing to learn right now. And so, yeah, basically this time is just about taking that back, reclaiming what is yours, and seeing the truth behind it all, and really just seeing clearly the truth of the chain of events in your life too. Like, that's another thing for Taurus. I know it's like deep, it's heavy. There's a big chain of events going for you right now. You might see that this decision or this career or these people in your life, they really stem back from like 10 or 15 years ago, like we're talking long ago. And now, as we've all collectively entered into the double one energy, complete new beginnings with Rat Year and Aries season that we had in April, none of that's valid anymore. None of that offers us much. So yeah, you're making it completely new, Taurus, and I think that you should use the thread available to you. I think that will give you so much. Okay, Taurus, and without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and talk specifically about your tarot spread and go to the week to week. I am putting together an extended reading on Patreon if you would like to support my channel during this time and get the extended reading. We'll have essential themes, supporting themes. I also have some links below where you can get like Audible, or you can buy tarot cards or anything like that as another way to support the channel and also get some cool things for yourself. So be sure to check it out below too. Anyway, Taurus, in the first week of May 2020, you have the Seven of Cups rooted down by Ace of Swords reversed. So, yeah, I'm feeling pretty attention deficit energy there. Like, I think it's hard for you to really hold your attention in one place. I think that you've got to be doing a lot of things at once. I think that you've got to have a lot of tabs open at once. And I mean this in many ways. So like you're trying to do your work online or something, and there's got to be, 17 other tabs open at once, and or you're traveling around, or doing what shopping you can, and there's got to be a lot of tabs open or a lot of credit accounts used. Like, I think that things are really scattered out. And the first week of May is about really putting things consolidated, really pulling things back together. So consolidating debt, perhaps, in the first week of May, finally paying off debt for some of you, and also really getting your mind clear. It's all going to be related, basically. There's the wind again. I love it. It's all going to be related, how you pull things back together. So if you feel really scattered, or if you feel like people haven't cared about your emotions, or you've had to really give so much to so many different people, to so many different bills, to so many different, I don't know, just so many different things. It's like overwhelming. So many different things on the horizon. How many careers, how many jobs, how many, it's everywhere. If you're there, Taurus, I think that you just need to really, well, I would almost say go on a frenzy in the first week of like deleting that account, deleting all of these things that are just going on and on, like changing your passwords. What do I want to say? Really making things concise and clear. It's like, you know that when there's so many accounts that we have, like online, like everywhere, and when you can't remember any of the passwords and you're always having to like change your password for like every single thing, every time that you go to log on to it, that's inherently the energy that I'm feeling for you. I just slammed the microphone with my hand. Apologies. That's what I'm feeling for you, Taurus. It's discombobulated. So you are combobulating. You're taking it from discombobulated to combobulated in the first week. And I'm wishing you luck with that, because that's no easy feat, but your life gets a lot easier after the first week of May. Okay. Also, for the first week of May, it's going to be really important to look at yourself. Okay. You're really paying attention to things outside of you. That's what Seven of Cups is a representation of. Really emotionally investing in people outside of you, in goals outside of you, in the future or the past, but specifically future tripping more so. And you've fallen into shadow because of that to some degree. So now it's time to pull it back and pull the spotlight back to you, and discover what you really want. Use that thread that you really have inside. Okay. And again, Ace of Swords reversed is just meaning that you're feeling a struggle to like have the light bulb moment. You know that the light bulb moment is coming, but it's just not quite there. Something's a little fuzzy about your mind too. I feel like you're not eating enough or something. Yeah, I'm feeling that in general. It's like you're not getting enough food, or you're not getting quite enough nutrients. So there are creative solutions there. Even if you don't have the same stores around you open or the same food opportunities, there's creative solutions. Look into like mail orders, food or vitamins or something. I think that you guys need a bit more there. It's feeling like a lot of brain fog to me. Essentially, what I would say the combination of Seven of Cups and Ace of Swords reversed is just a brain fog. So, are we healthy within the thyroid, within the endocrine system? Are we really stressed out? What are our healthy coping mechanisms right now? What are we doing to really ensure that we have tranquil space to really reorient ourselves with what's going on? You're a bit disoriented, maybe, and if you're not, if you've already been doing that, the first week is a big congratulatory energy for you that you've gotten there, and you'll have a lot of good ideas there. Week number 2, Taurus, you guys have the Six of Pentacles rooted down by 10 of Swords. Yeah, getting those debts straightened out. This could be financial, emotional, whatever. You're really going to get clear. So refinancing, even like forgiveness of loans, maybe for some of you, I don't know. But also feeling kind of stabbed in the back by the things you've accumulated too. So try not to worry too much about it, Taurus, but there's people who feel that they deserve something from you. That's loud and clear for this reading. There's people who think they deserve something from you, and there's people who frankly maybe do deserve something from you. That's not going to be for all of you. Some of you aren't like needing to give anybody anything, you know. But I will say for some Taurus, there's someone who needs like something from you, or expecting it. Again, that strict expectation I was talking about in the beginning, that's coming out in the second week of May. And does it really have to be as hard as you're letting on in your mind? I don't think things have to be this hard. I think that take it or leave it is really the energy that I'm getting with that. Like, do it or don't. I'm feeling a lot of like, if you think of the ocean and you think of the surface of the ocean and it's like really dangerous waves and it's like stormy, you're not beneath the ocean, but you're not on the ship either. You're like at the current, and it's an in-between place. I don't know if that analogy makes any sense to you guys, but it's like a majorly in-between sort of purgatorial energy there. So for example, some of you might be thinking, you know, I want to talk to my ex, or I never want to talk to my ex again. But it's kind of swinging back and forth, and it's leading to like this stagnation, and they're still in your mind and you're still upset, but you're not resolving it either. So try to really come past that. And how can you come past that? You know, in any situation, whether that's relationship, career, family, whatever, you got to get into the solar plexus, okay? Solar plexus chakra, finding something you enjoy. If what you're doing in your life is not what you enjoy, or if you don't have something that you're really passionate about, those things leak in, essentially. The subconscious leaks in and it descends downward. And we're already having that collectively anyway with the throat to heart thing I was talking about in the beginning. So that will be really easy if you're not really enjoying what's around you. Try to not compensate there, Taurus. You know, as a Taurus, for example, if I'm a Taurus and I'm not enjoying things that I'm doing, now I want other people to not enjoy things. I want other people to know how I feel. It won't get you anywhere, Taurus. It won't get anybody anywhere. You guys need to start finding things that you love. It's really there for you, okay? Tough love, but it's really there for you. Week number 3, you guys have 5 of Cups reversed, rooted down by 8 of Pentacles reversed. And that is just a total validation of what I was just saying. Like, you have something that you've maybe been wanting to do for a long time that maybe doesn't even have anything to do with anybody else right now. You know, finally starting that art project, finally writing that book, finally doing those paintings that you've wanted to do for a long time. There's hard work within that. And it's like your pain and your difficulty that you've faced can really be channeled through that. Why aren't you giving it to yourself, Taurus? 8 of Pentacles is reversed. So it says to me that you're kind of worried about the follow through, or you're worried about sticking to it, or it's like you're afraid that you won't keep up with it. So you're like, why would I even start? Third week of May, you've got to really prove yourself on that one way or another, because you're getting ready to go into the 4th week, and the 4th week of May, and as a general energy for the month of May period, is like you really coming to the light and you really feeling like totally reconnected to your path. But sometimes it takes a lot of flotsam and jetsam to get there. But 3rd week, yeah, flotsam and jetsam, and dealing with debris and dealing with a lot of like floating things and what am I doing? It's like very void. You're moving into Gemini season. I do feel that you have more free motion at that time. So maybe that's like for everybody. Hopefully there's like, maybe it gets less strict. I hope, but I don't know, with the regulations. So that could be. But I also think that, I don't know, it's like gone are the days. That's what I'm hearing. Gone are the days of all these old, like painful conventions. Okay, so like old conventions that are like I will only make this much, or I will only do this, or I will only live in this way, or adhere to this regimen, or things like that. That's really gone, and it's really resetting for you. So why not just really embrace that, Taurus, and why not really get behind yourself with some of these things you've wanted to do, even if it's not going to make you a huge amount of money, or even if it's not going to come with like a lot of renown and prestige at first. Why not try, like just do that series of drawings, or do that, series of writings, or whatever it is. We have time here. Okay, Taurus, in week 4, it's the Hierophant reversed, rooted down by the sun. I love this, okay? So, again, it's like gone are the days of these, like, old difficulties that you've been going through. I think that you're really overcoming a personal narrative that wasn't right for you for a long time. So convincing yourself that somebody else had a certain amount of power over you, or convincing yourself that you were really compromised by somebody else, I think that narrative is leaving, and that may have almost become a bit of a religion for you. Like, I was compromised by my parents, or I was compromised by my old relationship, or I was debilitated by this or that. And that's true, Taurus. Like, maybe you were debilitated or compromised, but everybody gets debilitated or compromised sometimes, and some people worse than others. But are we going to take that lying down, and are we going to really let it overcome us? Are we really going to give it the keys to our soul and really just say, okay, take over, that's fine? No. And that's the 4th week of May for you. That's like where you see that you don't have to allow that. The Hierophant is about keys, so you're not giving the keys. It's reversed. You're not giving the keys over to your soul. You're not giving the keys over to your happiness. All of these things that aren't real, so these things from the past, that's the interesting thing about the past. It's not real. I mean, it's real. It happened, but it doesn't always have as much influence as we give it credit for. Also, sometimes it has more than we give it credit for. Another video for another time. But I don't think that the past really has influence over you anymore, Taurus. So if there's an old story there about like the past being some like really influential, compromising experience that has led us to a certain place of like disease or disorientation or lack of confidence, I don't think that that's true anymore. And I think it's the narrative that's true. So really take those keys back and really start to inhabit your own soul. That's what it's kind of coming down to. With the sun rooting that down, it's like time heals all and the sun heals all. You need sunlight. You need to be out in the sun. I think that some of you are sun deprived, vitamin D deprived. And I don't know about you, but for me, where I'm at, it's been rainy and overcast for like months now. So I'm there too. And if you see the sun, try to get out into it if you can. And some of us can't even leave like our apartments. And, if you're in like a big city and there's a lot of cases, at least in the beginning of May, I don't know how it will be at the end of May. It may be totally different by then. But really try to get some light if you can. If you don't feel that you're getting enough sunlight, another great thing to do is to really get your mind out of the gutter, basically. Like, allow sunlight to come from within you. Humans actually have this ability. We have, like, nuclear type of cell activity, which means that we can actually kind of emit a similar type of energy as the sun. So it's kind of crazy. Like, obviously, we're not like suns or anything, but we have that energy within us because the sun proliferates and it gets through to every point, even if it's not like direct sunlight. It's complicated. Anyway, so we're like... we have the ability to basically chase out all of these old toxins and all of these old difficulties and narratives that are like, dark with our own sense of light, okay? So developing your own sense of personal light is, I think, the goal for the 4th week. And that starts by taking the keys back to your own experience and denying those keys to people or even traits of your own that really are all for inhabitation by something that's not actually you and something that's not actually true and actually pro-disempowerment, okay? Because when we're disempowered, we're not liable for much. So your choice, Taurus. I mean, I think that you can really be liable for your own experience and be very pleasantly surprised at what you're able to give to yourself and what you're able to create. Very, very creative energy coming in for you. I think some of the most beautiful paintings or writings or drawings or, whatever you create. Everybody creates such different things. There's some great stuff there for you this month. And that's going to start by taking, your own power back. I mean, it's the best time. It's your time of the year. The sun is in your sign. You're getting like a lot of energy. So let that energy in. Really connect with the sun. Again, sun is in your sign. Try to get sunlight if you can. If you can't, really visualize it. Like if you can't get sunlight, visualize sunlight and visualize yourself not being just prone to these old like infectious bad stories that are like just not leading you anywhere, okay? And that really feels like the gist of things. It's your time of the year, Taurus. Is one of the most powerful times of the year for you. I know that this reading, we've talked a lot about some of the difficult things coming in. I'm totally aware that there are certain Taurus that have already overcome these things and are really living a beautiful time in the month of May. As another really wonderful kind of more mundane message, I think that you're really going to have more than you expect here too. So if there's a financial worry, or if there's like a worry about paying a debt that you can't or something, I really think that all of that is going to subside, and there's not going to be any of the emergencies that you expected there. So you're going to kind of be pleasantly surprised about a lot of things this month too. You've just really got to face those like deep, long-lasting things that just aren't, you're not letting yourself get past, okay? That's all that we have power over right now is ourselves. And you've got a lot more than you think, Taurus. So you are a self-oriented sign. You're fixed earth energy. So take that power back and don't use it to like hurt others or cause problems to other people, because then that's really chaining it up. And that's really like karmically giving it over to other people as well. Really stay self-focused. I know that some of us are having to like live with other people and stuff and having to make ends meet here. But I would say like disengage from other people as much as you can. As much as you can. It's going to be different for everybody. If you're a parent, it's a little bit different. If you have like young children, obviously you don't need to like disengage too much from your children. So it's different for everybody. But if you're like living with parents or living with relationships or spouses or siblings or roommates or something, you really need to disengage from any relationships that are not like too necessary. Okay. Anyway, Taurus, I'm wishing you love, light, and luck. And I think that you're going to get so much more pleasant surprises than you expect this month. And, I wish I had more Taurus in my life. I think that you guys are like powerful, kind, loving people. And I think that I miss Taurus people who have been in my life as well. Like I would love to have a Taurus around. So people who have you around are lucky right now. I hope that you guys do well. And if you'd like to check out the extended reading, it will be over on Patreon. You can click below. It'll be in the description box. And check out the description box one way or another. I have an ebook. I'm on social media. I have some great links for you guys. All of that's there. Why not scroll through it? And if you want to check out your extended reading right now, we can jump over to Patreon. I will place it in the center of the screen right now. And I'll be talking to you guys later. Much love. Bye.